wonderful to see you, to be here, to be in front of real people that I can almost touch. I won't touch, I promise. But I can touch you, and I don't have to knock on a screen to see if you're actually here today. Wow, this is awesome. And I promise you, during the next time that I have with you, the following phrases will not come out of my mouth. I need your mic on. I can't hear you. Or, can you please mute because you're typing, slurping, whatever. Or, my personal favorite, hey, thanks for joining us while you're eating your lunch on Zoom. Can you please close your mouth while chewing? Okay, maybe I didn't say that, but I know you were thinking it. But ladies and gentlemen, today, and I know what you've been through in the last 14 months, I have been the same. But I'm so excited that we're moving forward. And look at this. Thank you so much for being here today and for the next 2 days. Because I know what you've gone through. But I believe right now could be one of the greatest opportunities to create this coveted member service, customer service experience, to create that black tie experience for your members, your prospects, your customers, whoever they may be. And I believe that because for the last 14 months, we've had to use this. We've had to use this thing, the high tech, which we've always used it, which has been awesome. But I think there's been something missing. And so today I want to talk to you about thinking more creatively on how to create this member service experience, as well as getting back to the basics. Because I think the last 14 months, not you, but customer service in general, has kind of forgotten about the basics. So let me illustrate what I want to talk about today with a story to start off. You see, about 6 weeks ago, I was on my first plane trip to speak at a live event in Dallas, Texas. And I fly Delta a lot. And on my plane trip down there, I got a front row seat on what I want to talk to you about today. You see, I was on the aisle, and during the flight, here comes the flight attendant, and he's looking at his phone. Okay, right? It's the high-tech thing. I get it. We all been used to that. But then something wonderful happened. He stopped at my row, and across the aisle was a husband and wife. And even with the masks on, I could hear perfectly what he said. And he bent down, and he said, and I'll use the name Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, my name's Peter, and I'm a senior flight attendant here with Delta. I just want to take this time to say thank you so much for coming back and flying with us. You and all the passengers on this plane, this is why myself and my team are here for you. And thank you so much, and I promise you that we will deliver with passion because we love working for you. And I noticed on my notes, because he was looking at the high tech, that you've been a loyal Delta member for the last 7.5 years. I can't tell you what that means to us. Thank you so much for your loyalty. We truly appreciate you. We hope you have a safe and wonderful flight. And if there's anything myself and my crew can do, please don't hesitate, and have a wonderful time in Dallas. Wow. Now, I didn't get that experience, but I got goosebumps listening to it. And then the confirmation of it came walking through the airport, because I happened to be behind that couple. And the wife turns to the husband and says, I can't wait to tell my daughter this story. This was incredible. I felt so good. See, ladies and gentlemen, Peter had the high tech, but he combined it with high touch right through here, right through his heart, to make those customers feel something different, feel more valued and appreciated. I believe that he was practicing what I call today my 5 essential laws of hospitality, which I'm going to talk to you about. Because I believe Peter knew what business he was in first and foremost. And now I'm going to ask you that. So on the bottom left hand of the screen, you see a website. I'd like for you to open up your search engine on your phone, whether Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, and type in menti.com, MENTI.com. Now that should take you to where it says Mentimeter Voting. There we go. And then you should see a space for a code. And let me read the code to you. So type in these 8 numbers, 4529-3771. 4529-3771. And that should pop up this question. Now you have 25 characters, not words, 25 characters to simply answer, what business do you believe you're in first and foremost? Hit submit, and hopefully, and keep my fingers crossed, we tried it earlier, it worked. Let's see if the magic of technology will come through. And let's see if we get any responses. It worked earlier in my AV sound check. Maybe, hopefully. No, oh no. Come on. Come on. I hate when this happens. Yeah, well, let me ask you instead. Shout out. What business are you in? Serving our members. Thank you. What else? Education and excellence. Thank you. What else? I'm sorry? Advocacy and creating what? Creating memories. I love that. What else? Connecting people. I love that. All these are excellent answers. They are right. This is my answer, however. See, I believe first and foremost that you're in the hospitality business. But there's my definition of hospitality. It's an art, and I truly believe it's an art of making a personal connection between you and someone else. I believe you're in the people business first and foremost, the hospitality business. See, and in fact, Starbucks tells their people, we're not in the coffee business serving people. We're in the people business serving coffee. So what business are you in? And do the staff that work for you, or your volunteers, or your board know that you're in the people business? Because I'm here to tell you, based on our customer service mentality, you all are consumers. What we're seeing sometimes today is, that's not my job. No, I don't know. I can't help you. You'll have to talk to somebody else. Right? That's not being in the people business. That's not hospitality, in my opinion. See, I believe that we must do customer service. It's the building block, member service. It's given. Those are the task-oriented jobs that we should be doing for our members. We should be answering the phone with a smile and greeting people and making sure that their registration is on time and all those things. But if you just do member service, customer service, while you could build a nice business, I believe that you're going to be doing a lot of the work because you're going to always have to be replenishing the sales fountain. However, hospitality is felt, isn't it? You can feel it as a consumer. It's inspiration. You can feel when someone truly has that empathy, that caring, that respect for you, that they make you feel valued and appreciated during the entire experience that you have with them. Danny Meyer, the famed restaurateur, who I love to read, from Union Square Hospitality in New York City, this is how he describes his business. 49% of his business is customer service, is member service. It's those things that they have to do. They should train the people. They should greet them and give beverages. They should make sure the meal is hot and fresh and timely. Those are all good. But what he says, 51% of his business is made up of hospitality. How they make their customers, members feel through the entire course of not only the dining experience, but even before they get there, and then afterwards, the follow-up. Because he wants to bring those customers back. Because when you bring them back based on how you make them feel, you're starting to create loyal members, or what I call brand ambassadors. Here's my definition of a brand ambassador. Someone who can't wait to tell the story of how you make them feel. And then there's numbers that will back that up. Look at this study done by the Temkin group. And let's just concentrate on the middle number. So what if you have 10 brand ambassadors? In fact, I would ask you, as you get back to your office, write out who are 10 of your brand ambassadors. These are those people that are loyal to you, that are you've taken such great care of them, that they're telling the stories. What if they would refer 4 new prospects to you, who, by the way, have already been pre-qualified? I call that marketing. See, they're already marketing for you, because they're telling us, you have to join my association. Let me tell you the stories of how they're taking care of me. See, ladies and gentlemen, what would 40 new prospects look like for you right now in your business? How many could you close who have already been pre-qualified? Who could close all 40? Because if you do, I need a salesperson. Awesome. But what if you could close 30 out of 40? What would 30 new prospects who turn into members look like for you right now in your organization? That's the power of hospitality. That's the power when you create these brand ambassadors, and the power of loyalty. So I'm going to give you my 5 essential laws of hospitality today. Now, you see the gold stars there, and I like gold stars, but I like black ties a lot better, as evident. So I'm going to give you my 5 black tie essential laws of hospitality. Now, real quick, this whole black tie experience thing. You see the tuxedos, you see me. What's the whole deal about this? Well, this was the uniform that my staff wore. I had a hospitality company, had a event and catering company outside of Cleveland, Ohio. And as you heard, one of our claims to fame is that we catered and helped plan 25 of the National Pro Football Hall of Fame induction parties over a 5-year period. And we had one opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to wow them. We did Deion Sanders' party and went in as a Falcon, by the way, not a cowboy. Yeah. So I couldn't go to Deion and like, hey, Frank, I am so sorry we screwed up your party. Can you come back next week? I promise you we'll make it better. You got to pay for it. I'm not paying for it. No, we never had that shot. So I had to train my staff on how to deliver these 5 essential laws, because just putting the uniform on wasn't going to cut it. So our uniform actually turned into a mindset for them. And so I created this comprehensive program before they could step out on any floor on how to really deliver this black tie experience. Because the black tie experience is the highest level of service excellence and hospitality. It's doing those little things to make people feel valued and appreciated, to anticipate their needs, to personalize the experience so they walk away building that loyalty. Now, I'm wondering if I could do it here. I want to show you how this black tie is a metaphor for training on this. Now, I should say that I failed twice at doing training for my staff. I got it right the 3rd time. But I'm going to need a couple volunteers if you're so willing. This is a 42 regular. You don't have to be my size. You can be smaller or larger. You can roll up the sleeves. I have a nice door prize for you, and just be on stage. And just to incite you, I have some walk-up music for you. So can I get any volunteers to help me out here? I have one. All right. I have 2. Well, if you want to come up too. Oh yeah, I see 2. Thank you. Let's stand over here. And your name is? Hazy. Nice to meet you. And Todd, nice to meet you. Welcome. Thank you very much for being here. So I'm going to work with you on this training program on how to deliver the black tie experience. By the way, this is a great social media opportunity if you know these two. Just saying. So, I believe there are 3 methods of training. And the first 2 don't work, in my opinion. How do I know that? Well, because I did them, and they don't work. So the first method is called the TELL method, T-E-L-L. Right? So here's my training for you. Todd, Daisy, I'm telling you right now, please tie this tie into a bow tie. Go.
I feel like he has an advantage, maybe. No, me either, so.
Good. Okay. So. Okay. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not good, but hey, that's okay, right? Well, and you, no offense, okay. Because on the TELL method, that's what happens. I mean, we tell our people, we tell our staff, you must do member service. What does that mean? So they're okay, well, I'm going to wing it because I'm going to forget this because there's nothing there. Here's the second method. I'm going to have you put on the jacket here. You can just put it right over yours. Thank you. You might have to roll the sleeves up, but that's okay. You look good in that, by the way. Good. So let me put that on you. Okay. Hey, they look pretty good, don't they? Not bad so far, right? So here's the second one. It's called the SHOW method, S-H-O-W. Reach inside your left hand in the inside coat pocket and pull out that tie. Left side. Can you put on that tie? Yeah. It's a clip. Of course, yes, it's much easier. So the SHOW method, I'm going to show you how to do this. Now it works short term, but long term it'll never work because you're not going to remember it. But here's what happens on the SHOW method, is that I'm going to have Mary and Christina show Todd and Hazy. Want to put it on if you want? Yep, yeah. All right, please put it on. So I'm going to have them show what it means to deliver member service. Well, here's what Mary and Christina are going to say. Okay, you know what, Todd, Hazy? Let me show you really what this is all about. Don't listen to Bob. He's just, we're going to cut the corners because they were trained with the TELL method, so they could care less. And while this looks good, and you do look good, and a double tap, no, it's okay. We're not going to remember what it means. The only method that works is what's called the involve method, where I'm going to involve you in this training. I'm going to make you understand what it means to deliver the member service experience every step of the way. And we're going to practice, we're going to role play it. See, folks, I couldn't tie this bow tie. I couldn't, well, look to YouTube, it'll show you how. I couldn't figure it out. Only until I brought a business associate over to my house, because I had to wear these to be on stage, or as well as with my company, and he worked with me every step of the way on how to tie this bow tie. And if I had more time, I would actually teach you, and in my trainings I actually teach people, because only 2% of the population can actually tie a bow tie. But the involve method, so I did it, and it took me a long time, and I was so surprised. I said, great, do it again. Huh? Do it again. Practice it over and over. See, ladies and gentlemen, practice becomes rituals. Rituals become habits. Habits lead to excellence. So if you want to deliver the 5 essential laws of hospitality, you must be able to involve your people in the training so that they fully understand what it means to be a member of your organization, whether it's a staff person, a volunteer, whatever it is, so that they go out and represent your brand. Let's give these guys a big hand. I promise. You can just put the coats on them, or wherever you want to put them. Thank you very much. Yeah, just you can leave them up there. Thank you very much. All right, that's fine. Thank you. Let's give them another hand. So, here are the 5 essential laws of hospitality. And it all starts, and all of these build on each other, by the way. I believe you must need to do each of these in order to create those brand ambassadors. Law number 1 is what I call the law of connect. Because I believe it all starts with a connection, ladies and gentlemen. And it must be that, because it's right in my definition of hospitality, it's that personal connection between you and someone else. So it has to be authentic, it has to be real, it can't be fake. And that's why I love this, because now we get to see each other and we can read body language to make that personal connection. Because look at just what's all in these words. When you connect with someone, you welcome them. You have the opportunity to serve them. You can respect them. You can relate to them. And for the last 14 months, this is how we've been relating to people. This is through social media or Zoom. And well, it's been good. And I've had many people say, Bob, I've been doing more work on LinkedIn or whatever it is just to shout out and connect with people. But then I had other people say, you know what, Bob? Yeah, I started picking up the phone and just calling people to make that connection, to see how they're doing. Because it's been tough for all of us. And then I asked, and there were a few, and there were a number of people who said, Bob, I took to writing handwritten notes. I'm a big handwritten note guy. And I love to do that. And that makes a tremendous connection, because it's something that we remember with little gifts. I don't believe anything beats that. And I saw it last night. I saw it here today. It's just that difference, because when you personally connect with people, you can start building more depth, more substance, more interaction. In fact, I want to do that with you right now. So everybody stand up, please. Now, here's what you need. Listen carefully. First of all, you have about 90 seconds to 2 minutes to do this. Okay? So grab a business card and something to write with, because you're going to need to take notes. You're going to need to write the answers of the person that you're going to connect with. So, here are my ground rules. Number one, find somebody that you don't know. You don't know this person. Don't go to your colleague who you haven't seen for 8 months, only on Zoom. It doesn't work as well. Okay, now here are the 2 questions. Listen up. Here are the 2 questions that you must ask each other and write down the answers that you hear. The 2 questions. Question number 1, what's the favorite part of your job? Question number 2, what's your favorite snack or beverage you can't live without? Favorite part of your job, favorite snack or beverage. Ready? Go. You do something with your answers. Well, now we move to the law number 2, which is the law of engagement, which we're building that emotional connection, because now we've made that connection with them, but now it's time to build on that. How do we engage our members? Don't just ask them to join the board right away, because why? But how do you engage with them? How do you use their expertise and knowledge in your association? You ask them to host a webinar or a podcast or write a newsletter blog, whatever it is. How do you do it? Or should we also just be doing this? This is a quote that's paraphrased from the co-founder of the Ritz-Carlton. Your members' experience will start at the very first 9 feet. So when they walk into your event, what's the first 9 feet look like? How well are they going to be engaged? Who greets them? By the way, do you have directors of first impressions within your association? That's everybody, by the way, I believe. It should be a director of first impressions in your association. How do you greet them? Folks, walk in, and this is an absolutely gorgeous hotel. Would you not agree? Oh my gosh. But I want to tell you, there are lots of hotels that look like this, but I got here, and within the first 9 feet, I was greeted with hospitality. From the doorman to the front desk to the young gal that had the champagne, they understand how to engage with you right away. So you must build that engagement. I call, and here's the other thing, is do you ask for your members' feedback? Because you can engage with them that way. I opened my first restaurant in 1994. Okay? Think about that time. Answer machines, yes, we had that thing. And no caller ID. And so I had this little Italian restaurant, and there were 12 of them within a mile and a half radius. Folks all did the same thing. We all served the same food. What can I do to separate myself? I started thinking outside the box and engaging with my customers. So I would randomly select 20 to 25 customers every week. I had a staff member call them in the evening. Hi, this is Kim from Paparazzi's, and I saw that you ordered on Saturday night. I'm curious, do you have just a few minutes? It was 2-3 questions. Tell me what you thought of the meal. Tell me what we could do better. Customers walking in, oh, I've never gotten a call from a restaurant to see how well my meal was and to see how we can do better. And I listen to them. See, ladies and gentlemen, I have what's called, I think you need to have what's called the vision to be able to anticipate those needs to better engage. But there's another word, and I tried this earlier. Let me see if this works. The screen, I think, actually works. Let me see if I can joggle some of these Scrabble tiles. See, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be proactive when you engage with your members, because the opposite of that is being reactive. And when you're reactive, you're always on your heels. You're always apologizing. Larry, I am so sorry. You had told me about the room, and frankly, I forgot about it. That's not my fault. It's Jason's fault. Now, Jason hasn't worked for me for 3 years, but you don't know that. But, now Larry's disappointed because I promised Larry on something, but now I'm reacting. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. See, ladies and gentlemen, I can change your mindset by changing one letter in this word. And let me see if the power of osmosis, I can do this. Ready? I can do this, come on. There we go. See, I've got to just push this. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd rather be reactive or be creative. Because when you're creative, you're innovative, you're thinking outside the box. You're really trying to build that emotional connection because you're anticipating the needs of your members and engaging them. So now you're able to move to the third law, which is really the key law in my opinion, because if you don't get this law down, you got to go back to law number 1. If you do get it down, you then can move forward to laws 4 and 5. And the third essential law of hospitality is the law of trust, moving from caution to confidence. Because even though you have a member, they're like, so far it's been good, but I don't know. I don't really trust them. Because when you build trust in your members, they have confidence in you. And now trust takes a while to actually build up. But unfortunately, it can be washed away almost immediately by how we treat them, by how we act around them, or by how we speak to them, how we overpromise and underdeliver. See, I would train my staff on how to do this, how to be consistent. Every person on my staff knew what to do. And it's not robotic, but we personalize the agreement, but we train them, especially on how to deal with an unhappy customer, or unhappy guest, unhappy member. Rather than saying, go to him, go to her. No, they were able, by and large, to work with that customer, work with that guest. Because when you do that, you build this. And ladies and gentlemen, when your members have peace of mind within your association, you're there. Now you have to work, continually work at it. But here's what trust can do. I was attending a conference, and I heard this gentleman who speaks on trust. This was the slide that he shared. Look at what happens when trust increases. I've talked about almost all of these things today. Morale, retention, revenue, productivity. They all go up because your members trust you. And look what goes down. Costs and problems and time to market and stress. But if you flip it, then you can see what happens. So how do you use the easy button to create conditions of trust for your members? My customers would tell me, Bob, your team makes it so easy to work with you. You take care of all the details. We trust you to make it happen. So I'm curious, at your table, take about a minute and brainstorm, answer this question to the people at your table. How are you building conditions of trust right now for your members moving forward? Talk amongst yourself. trust. And now your members trust you. You now can move to the fourth law, the fourth essential law of hospitality, which is the law of appreciation. And it's doing those little things to create those brand ambassadors. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have the big things down pat. Okay, but it's those little things that you're going to do. And I know that all of us think that we show these three a lot, but I'm here to tell you that I know, myself included, we can do a much better job at practicing showing gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation. And I'm not talking about big things. Just doing 1 or 2% more, because if you do that, I promise you, you will separate yourself from everyone else in your industry, whoever. See, because when you appreciate someone, it makes them feel good. Case in point, before COVID, I was in Plano, Texas, speaking to a CPA firm. I was there for 3 days, 2 nights, and I was trying to look for a hotel to stay in, and so I found one, and then, I'm a member of 2 or 3 hotels, and as I checked in to the hotel, and literally, I got my key, and I got this from Shirley at the Staybridge Suites. It was a little goodie bag. I'm checking in, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Now, I'm not a platinum member or IHG. I'm like down here, Wow. And so I called Shirley because I had 3 days. I'm like, Shirley, thank you so much. I never would expect this. Why did you do this? Bob, I wanted to say thank you for being here. I know you had a lot of choices of hotels. I saw you were coming in. I saw that you were an IHG member, which doesn't really mean anything, but I wanted to do something little to say thank you. You did, Shirley. Because when that happened, because she's like, Bob, you're a VIP for me. Everyone in my hotel is a VIP. Are your members VIPs here? I would tell my staff, ladies and gentlemen, this event, Thursday night, 200 people, every one of them is a VIP. Because they have the opportunity to market us to their friends and colleagues. Are your members VIPs everywhere you go? That flight that I talked to you about in Dallas with the Delta with Peter. So I get home late Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, I'm back in my office, and I get an email from Delta. Subject line, thank you for flying with us. Great. 17-minute survey. Nope. Here's the first sentence of the email from the VP of Flight Operations. Trust me, this is your first flight back. How do they know? I mean, I know how they know, but how do they know, and how do they take it to the next level, that 1 or 2%, to let me know that they knew that it was my first flight back since March of 2020. That's impressive, ladies and gentlemen. That's appreciation. Because when you do that, you give your members a shot. We've all been through this, but here's the shots you give. You give them a shot of dopamine every time you do something good for them. It's that feel-good chemical in your brain that gets released because it makes you feel more optimistic, and it makes you look for other things. It builds connection. It builds engagement. And Shirley and her staff did that for me. Because then I started looking for all the wonderful things they were doing, just because they started out appreciating me for being there. What are you doing to that 1 or 2% to take those members? Because once you do these 4 laws, you now are getting them to the stage of becoming that loyal brand ambassador. Speaking of appreciation, I want to say thank you to you for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I have a couple things for you today. So, I have what's called my Black Tie Hospitality Toolkit, which is yours absolutely at no cost. There's my email address, and in the subject line, I have a special code today for you. Just type in the word 5 laws. And I'll send that to you to the zip file. It's got a couple short 1 to 2 minute videos on hospitality, a couple of my templates on hospitality, and my one of Charles' one is the 25 hospitality lessons I've learned over 25 years of being an entrepreneur. It's all yours at no cost. I'm not going to spam you, nothing else. But here's the second thing. On your table, I have some leave behind cards that talk about what I do and list some of my keynotes and so forth. The bottom is perforated. And you can check off the boxes if you'd like. But if you write in the words free 20, that means that I will give you a complimentary 20 to 30 minute phone call. No cost to you. If you want to brainstorm with me, if you want to ask me questions, whatever it is, I want to be there for you because I appreciate you being here for me. It's my way of saying thank you. And you can leave it on the table or hand it to me afterwards, then I'll send you my calendar invite and we will schedule this phone call. And you can stop it from there and that's it. It's just saying thank you so much. So that leads me now to the last and fifth law. Now I will tell you that I think you need to do these 4 laws: connect, engage, build trust, and show that appreciation all the time. Because when you do that, you deliver joy. And you actually delight your members by doing that. The 5th law, you should do every once in a while, because if you do it all the time, it becomes overdone. The 5th law is what I call the law of wow. My definition of law or of wow is random and unexpected. It makes you go, wow. Practice that. Start thinking of ways that you can wow your members, because that's when the story starts. That's what they remember. Case in point, how many of you know birthdays of your members? Okay. Some, okay, good. How many do anything for that? Some, okay, good. That's a good start. How many of you know the anniversary date of when your member became a member, not counting the invoice renewal? Doesn't count. Right? How many of you know that, and do you do anything about that? See, Zappos knows. Zappos knows that it was my 1st and 2nd year anniversary. I had no idea what it was. They do. Now, if they designed this for me with the t-shirt with the bow tie, I'm never shopping anywhere else again. Promise. But that's what they sent. And in that little blue box, the shop now. Guess what I did? I shopped. Because they said, hey, we heard you had, Zappos versary and stuff. They took the time to do that. So my question to you is, what will you do to wow your members before the invoice renewal day comes? To say, wow. That's why what this exercise I had to do is, I believe, so very important. What's the one word in the 2 questions I asked that I think stands out in my opinion? Do you remember what I asked? Favorite, absolutely. Because the word favorite elicits an immediate response in your brain. You know what your favorite snack is. If I had asked, hey, so what do you think one of your snacks you like the most? Oh, man, I don't know. But hopefully favorite is that. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the power of that. Those are 14 bags of sea salt and pepper potato chips. Let me tell you the quick story. So 2 years ago, fall of 2019, actually, I was doing a 5-week customer experience training for an organization. I had 14 people in the class, 5 weeks, half day each, or 1 half day all week for 5 weeks. Week number 1, we did the icebreaker. And I asked them the questions, 2 or 3 questions, 2 of which, favorite part of your job, favorite snack. Week number 3, we're talking about being present, actively listening, showing empathy and care. And I asked the first person, and I'll just use Mary. I said, Mary, week number 1, you told us all your favorite snack. Remember what that is? And Mary said, I don't know if this is right or not, but I'm just going to say this. Mary said, yeah, it's Cool Ranch Doritos. You're right. It is Cool Ranch Doritos. I brought the Cool Ranch Doritos to Mary and every favorite snack of the 14 people. Pickles, I don't know why. Ice cream, a little freezer container. You should have seen the look on their faces. Wow, no one's ever done that for me. Wow, I can't believe you remembered. I can't believe you listened to me. So, first of all, you've made a connection now. What if in 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, when it's random and unexpected, you send your new connection their favorite snack? What can it do? Wow, they remember. So that, at lunch that day, one of the 14 people in the class asked me, "Bob, what's your favorite snack?" Sea salt and pepper chips. Week number 4, all of them gave me sea salt and pepper chips. That's the law of wow, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it builds. It builds the stories, and because of it, you become this. I don't know if this is a word, but I'm making it one. because you become rememberable in the eyes of your members. And when you do that, the stories start happening. Because you have built them through these 5 essential laws of hospitality to be one of your brand ambassadors. And now they will share what you're doing for them. But now, because of high tech, sharing takes on a whole new meaning in this world. That's the power of wow, the law of wow. Now, I know the conference is just starting, but I'm going to challenge you right away. I know you're going to get a lot of information here in the next day and a half, but hopefully there's at least one concept, one idea that I talked about that you can turn into a plan of action and work on it for the next 21 days. I call it my 21-day challenge, becoming a better you. What can you do to better yourself and your association? See, ladies and gentlemen, we know that it takes 21 to 30 days to form a habit. That's why pre-COVID, all the health clubs were booked on January 2nd and empty by January 18th. Couldn't form the habit. But now, to help, what if you have that personal trainer, that accountability partner? Guess what? That connection you just made 35 minutes ago, maybe the two of you can be each other's accountability partners for the next 3 weeks. And every 3 or 4 days, just email them, hey, how you doing? What are you working on? What can I help you with? You'll be surprised at what you can accomplish when you have a personal trainer. And if you can't find anybody, there's my email address. I'd be happy to be a personal trainer for the next 3 weeks. I won't stalk you every day. Every so while, hey, how's it going? Because I want you to become better so that you can better your members and better your association. Because I truly believe that hospitality is the key moving forward today in 2021 and beyond. And there's 3 more Scrabble words up there that are all here. Let me see. There's one. I want you to be high touch. I want you to be helpful. And I want you to be humble, because it's all about your members, giving back to them. Practice that high touch, which comes from here. Be that helpful person and truly be humble. Because when you do that, you become your members' favorite. And see, early on in my career, I wanted to be the best. Well, looking back, if I had a choice between the best or being someone's favorite, I think I would choose favorite. And here's this quote from Danny Meyer. And I agree with him. You don't have to be the best to rule your market. You just have to be someone's favorite. What steps will you be taking to become your members' favorite? Because when you do that, magic happens. And I leave you with this quote. I close all my seminars with this quote. And it's from a wonderful woman. I don't think she understood the power of this quote when it comes to member service experience. And all of you know this quote. You've seen it. I'll leave it here with you. See, ladies and gentlemen, your members will forget. They will, what you say to them. They'll probably even forget what you're going to do for them. But they're never, ever going to forget how you've made them feel. Moving forward, will you implement and practice these 5 essential laws of hospitality to create those brand ambassadors, those people who can't wait to tell others how you make them feel? Thank you.